All right, we're live.
What's up?
What's that behind you, Noah?
It's the Murphy bed I built.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
The what bed?
Murphy bed.
What is that?
So basically you pull it like there's handles. There will be handles. Handles at the top, you pull it down, and then it's a bed.
Didn't know that was the name of those.
Like an incognito bed.
Currently it's a Jenny bed because it's got no handles.
Yes. So it's in the works. It's basically done, but we're gonna decorate it and put trim on it and do all that stuff. Put floating shelves on the left side, right side, all that jazz.
I need one of those in my house. You want to come over and build me one?
Yeah, whenever I'm around you, yeah, we'll plan it out.
Sweet.
It was a headache. It was a headache, but I'll do it again. I'll do it again.
It'll be easier the second time.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it will be.
That's how everything is, right?
But man, oh yeah, dude.
What's up? Yeah. Say hello in the chat if you're here watching.
Yeah.
We haven't been here for a while. Poor internet. 2 weeks ago, I was gonna try to go live from the age group games, but that didn't work out. It's probably best that I didn't go live.
Why?
Just because like people and internet and
it was loud.
It's kind of a lot. It'd been cool. It'd been really cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
How much of the age group games did you guys watch live?
Dude, I tried to watch it, but it was constantly just like panned out. So like I watched it. I just couldn't tell what anything was happening.
Were you on the right feed? I think some people got on the wrong feed.
I didn't realize that there were multiple feeds until Saturday, I think.
Well, one was through Legends and then one was through the pit, right?
Oh, I just did
the wide one.
I went to YouTube and just put in age group CrossFit games and
was the
day
pit
2. Here we go.
The pit one was sick, dude. I watched it at nighttime because I wouldn't stick around like after Brian was done because the 35-39 men would go after the 45 and the 40. So it was like enough time to walk back to the Airbnb and I would put it on, and it was pretty lit. It was like a good, good time.
I heard that they were only broadcasting like 4 hours or 5 hours a day.
Yeah.
So like there was, I mean, obviously it was going like all day, like 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. So they were only showing, I feel like, top heats anyways and commentating on those like higher heats.
Maybe it was just the floor. I'm gonna pull some up. Wait, Tiki, talking about it. Noah, did you watch any?
Dude, I've been working. I hate to say it, but no, I've been working a ton of overtime and special event stuff for the department. Yeah. So anytime I would try to get on and watch, like my internet would be super spotty. So like I would watch like 2 seconds at a time, it'd cut out. 5 seconds at a time, it'd cut out. And like I'll just rewatch it when I can.
Yeah.
So unfortunately.
Don't worry, we'll tell you all about it.
Rock on. I like it.
We're gonna tell you all about it today.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. All right, let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna share this screen because I got it up for the pit. The pit team throwdown.
Yeah, that might be a better channel to go back and
here it is.
Watch.
Age group 15 throwdown. So like this was the wide, and then they got these guys. Hi, my name is Grubby. And I win everything.
Basically.
Yeah. Okay. I'm Adrian Bosman, and I make up workouts. And I got a cool
for a living
goatee.
Yeah.
And I love CrossFit.
I mean, he was there most of the weekend. I saw.
He was there all weekend long.
Yeah.
The one person that wasn't there all weekend long was Dave Castro. He was only there on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then you got Tommy Marquez talking, Mr. WFP himself. What a trade. What a trade.
Dude.
I don't like that anymore. Actually, that's hard to say because Tommy and I in California we're good friends. And he's a cool dude. I don't know. You know, people change maybe.
Yeah.
They get new interests.
Well, no, because he's here at the age group games. I didn't watch any of this stuff.
Yeah, I didn't watch a lot of it.
Hi, hello.
It's just kind of what I heard.
I'm
third party.
Anyways, let's take a look at some of this stuff presented by
Older Athlete.
Here you go. So they had split screens. Look at these ring muscle uppers. This is the 50 to 54-year-old age group. Jack, look at these ladies.
Dude, yacked.
Yeah. Holy moly. Look at what CrossFit
fit.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is like for the longest time people would be like, they're all on drugs. And like I coaching masters. No, dude, they're not. You just want them to be.
They're just built different, bro.
Right.
No.
But no, he's right. That you just want them to be because they're just
because then it gives you excuse.
See
to
that lady
not
doing
involve
ring muscles right now?
anything.
Her name, well, last name used to be Manfro,
Oh yeah.
but now it's Seals, Jessica. She actually trains with Lauren, and it was funny. At check-in, she was talking to me, and I've met her in the past because I've coached people in her age group. And then she was like, "Yeah, when they sent out the coaches wristband, I was like, I was really torn because I wanted to put your name down because I've been just doing Lauren's programming. So you're like my honorary coach." That's kind of cool. So I guess I had seven.
I mean, at least
seven
she gave you a little shout out for that. That's good.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice that she did that. But yeah, I mean, this is the live feed. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Is this not what you saw?
I don't think this was every event was like this.
No,
I
not at
heard in
all.
the 70s and the 60 divisions, they didn't really show a lot. It
Oh,
was
Haley
more
Queller.
like
That's my athlete right there on the right.
Boom.
There's Haley looking down
It's
the
because
line.
she was smoking that ring muscle up workout.
That's true. She got second in this event.
Yeah.
She's coming across. Come on, let's go back to her. Oh yeah, look at this angle. Follow that athlete. This was so fun, dude.
Yeah.
This is good. This is a good live feed. I haven't really watched.
Well, you're just
So
you're
much of
hyped
this.
because it's Haley right now.
Yeah.
Ring muscle up to her jam, so she.
What's up? Hello, Nate Hall. Hello, Renata. Def Not. Def Not what? Is that like a cool band?
he
like
said
Daft Punk?
The streaming wasn't always like this. That's what she's
All right.
getting at.
I know. It's just a
It's a
joke.
legit band.
Dude, you can't take a joke, man.
Me?
Yeah, you didn't even know the Daft Punk joke.
No, I got it. I just was not acknowledging it.
It just wasn't funny, Todd.
Yeah.
All right. So wait, back to it. Did you guys watch this feed at all or no?
No.
Tyler, you didn't watch this feed? You didn't see this one?
Harley did not watch that.
I watched it a little bit.
Oh,
From
yeah,
the pit?
this one. Or did you see the wide angle? Look at Haley go. Look at those squats. Look at those squiddies.
So the only thing I could say about the live stream is that the entire sort of crew that was running it was coordinated by Tommy, Sean, etc., like the media team. But the entire crew themselves were just like students who attend Ohio, and they're just volunteers, and they've never even seen CrossFit before.
Dude.
So I think that from what I heard talking to Tommy is that it got better and better each day, but it definitely was a super rough start because they didn't know what they were even looking at.
Sure.
Listen, the stuff I saw was sick. Even this right now. Look at Haley looking down the line.
Look.
I'm ahead doing box jumps. I'm so good at ring muscle ups.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that out of a negative tone. I'm saying just
You
acknowledging
can
that
if you want. You can.
Yeah.
they're just learning. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's just unfortunate that that's who got drafted to do the highest
No, that's
level
good.
of
They
the
did
age
good.
group.
Look at this. I think it's great. I'm glad. Let's get more students to do it. How do you guys feel about that? If you had more students, film students filming live CrossFit events.
So you can see him walking across the floor right now, like that guy in the gray shirt walking across. He's over by the rig behind the overhead squatters. Boom, that's his shot because that's where he's standing.
You're giving them primetime experience.
Exactly. So what I was going to get at was what other sports have cameraman, women, people walking across the floor within the competition?
True, not many. Football.
Very.
I mean, no, not
football.
Not football.
No
Nope.
way.
Well, before they
Don't
put
think
the camera on the string.
Sure. Yeah. Back
Yeah.
in the day,
Yes.
I'm saying in a modern era. So
Okay.
like if you were a student trying to learn the game
my
right
day.
now, is you wouldn't actually be standing on a field of play of any sport ever.
That's true.
No.
You would only, but you'd be zoomed in like a mofo.
You'd
Yeah.
be standing on the perimeter of the
The
field.
sidelines. Yeah.
Sidelines. I
You'd
know
be-
sports balls.
You'd be
I know games.
Back on the sport perimeter. That's where they would stand.
No, dude, that's actually cool though. Like skateboarding, you could do the Olympics. I think there's probably some Olympic events that they have to get on, like curling. I feel like I've seen them on the ice.
I would assume that that's just a zoomed in lens from across the
Can't say
floor
I've ever watched curling
on the
so-
side.
All right, well,
On the sidelines, as
whatever, Harley.
Noah so eloquently
whatever,
said.
dude. All right, well, anyways, it was cool. They Ohio State film and video, killing it out there. Look at this good shot. I mean, I would have liked her more
I
center.
mean, it's not bad.
No,
Like
it's good.
watching.
No, you need the negative space, Todd, because where's that
true.
leaderboard that point tracking. The rep
Do you guys
tracking
like that little point tracking on the side there? I think it's good. It's
Yeah.
a little small. Like you got to squint at
It was
it.
too busy.
I'm glad it's there though, instead of
Yeah,
just
I like that it shows where they're at, like in the workout. Like this person's on box jumps, this person's on overhead squats.
Which is interesting because they weren't doing a good job of communicating that in person. So if they have the capability of actually,
the rest.
like
yeah, like,
commentators.
they have the capability of doing this on
You
the
want
screen.
to know how they were doing it?
How?
So that person, if you look down the lane that's sitting in the chair, down that person's lane, has their cell phone and there's an app, and they just click every time the person does a rep
Okay.
on the app. And I was watching them behind in the warm up area, like through the curtain, use the little app that they have. So like, yeah, you could integrate it in to the announcers, but it's integrated into the live feed, and then the people would have to hear, and they're already directing like, hey, lane 15 is in the lead.
Well,
Look
you
at
know
her.
what would have been cool then is like do like
Look
what
at
they did
Haley.
at Fittest of the Coast.
that
Like, you know how
box.
they had the big screen at Fittest of the Coast and they had the workout on there
Sure.
on the lane.
Yeah.
It would be cool if they had like a big screen where they actually were able to project this.
the way they've done rowing workouts at Wadapalooza. And at the
Yeah,
gym.
so they
Guys, hold on.
see that.
When Heather was saying project this, she was on her laptop swirling her mouse around the thing as if all of you could see it.
You know what's funny is I was doing the same thing whenever I was talking about it. I'm doing it right now. Like
Dude,
actively.
I did that 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, look at that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
this thing right
Swirling
here.
my mouse.
That thing right
And then
there.
I realized, yeah, no, they can't see that.
All
no.
right, all right, all
Yeah.
right.
Oh, that's good. Look at
You're not
Haley.
alone, Heather. You're not alone. That's all I'm gonna say.
We're just staying on it because when I just randomly pulled the live feed and Haley was there. But
How do
right.
you guys feel about like of the 8 tests? Right, there are 8 scores. Right.
Yes.
Are you changing the subject? Let's give
No,
it.
it's about the workouts. It's about this.
We haven't really even
Because
started.
this is an AMRAP in itself too. Like very few people finish this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my question was, how do you feel about almost all of the workouts being not finishable for, let's say, 70% of the age groups? Because the 35 to 39 finished everything for sure.
Let's go
But
over.
like,
Let's go over it then, because if you're gonna get into the weeds like that, we just pulled up the live feed and we're messing around.
I know. I'm just messing around too. I'm just trying to get the peanut
Come on
gallery
in,
riled
man.
up.
Just hang around.
Oh yeah, just hanging around. All right. Well, we'll go over the workouts first. So workout number 1, 7K run, was finishable by everyone. Actually, that's a good question. Did anyone not finish that? Harley, do you know?
The 7K run. I saw a guy get hauled off by medical, so I'm assuming he didn't finish it.
All right, so one person. All right, so 7K run.
Was there a cap on that? I'm assuming there would be.
No, there was no cap.
Okay.
And that's why the argument of people getting bottleneck because they release them every 5 minutes, and we won't get into the weeds on that. So 7K run, then workout 2, max clean and jerk, finishable. So that's 2 out of the 8. Then workout number 3, balloons. Workout number 3 was
The squatting, the clean, and the
The
rowing, and the
the AMRAP.
I was like the squatting. Yeah, so
Sorry, I was
rowing.
thinking pistols, and
Yeah.
I was thinking thrusters.
So rowing, hangings, toast to bar, thrusters, pistols.
Yeah.
And that was actually an AMRAP. So Harley is correct there. So everyone was going to AMRAP that out. Then they had the sandbag or GHD burpees, sandbag carry, which everyone finished. I think so. From what I saw, dude, disagree. Did you see people like not finish?
A lot of people finished. Yeah. I think probably there's a few, but yeah, most people.
Don't worry. Harley's going to be right in a second, but three out of
Let it simmer.
He's got one. And then Saturday morning, they started with, I forget now.
They did the GHD sled push.
Oh, yeah. GHD
which
sled
Marissa and I talked a lot about that.
Deadlift sled push.
Deadlift sled push. Everybody finished that workout. Well, no, it was an AMRAP.
Yeah.
So
well, Marissa.
Hold on. We got to get through the workouts, dude.
Okay.
We got an AMRAP. So now two AMRAPs. Harley's right. Then they had the workout that we just watched. And some people flip-flop. Some people did that workout first. Some people did that workout second. And then what's the other one they had? But that one was not necessarily finishable. Barely anybody finished it. So he's right. So basically an AMRAP.
One with double unders.
And then the double unders, which was that's a hard one. But yeah, AMRAP double unders. And then the final day everybody kind of finished. That one was an AMRAP. But 4 out of the 8 events, so 50% of the events were basically AMRAPs. One of them, 2 of them were actual AMRAPs of those 8 events. The other ones ended up being AMRAPs because of the nature of the workout. All right, so those are the workouts. And if you didn't watch the workouts, you should go back, look at the workouts if you're watching a live show. We're not going to go over them. Should have watched them. We had athletes there. It was sick. But yeah, now ask your question, Harley.
Oh, I was just asking, how do you feel about what you just said is a quarter of the tests were specifically AMRAPs, a quarter of the tests were supposed to be for time, but ended up being AMRAPs regardless. So how do you feel about that? Do you think that's exciting?
What do you guys think?
I mean, I think the 4 time, like bringing up that comment that you just put from Marissa, like that was an AMRAP, a 3-minute AMRAP.
Sled push, another AMRAP. Should have been for time.
Right. Because we were talking how anticlimactic it was because they were like deadlifting, then they were like pushing the sled and they were like sprinting, but you didn't really like know necessarily where everybody was at. And then all of a sudden the time, like they were all killing themselves, but then the time ended and they were just like, and like it just like ended. And like people were like halfway through the sled, some were on, like it just was very anticlimactic. And it would have been better if they would have just, instead of doing, I think everyone was doing like 4 or 5 rounds of the deadlift in the sprint. So if they would have done like, say 4 rounds for time, they most likely all of like, not everybody, but a lot of people would have finished, and it would have been like an exciting finish to the end with like the push and the sled, and people could have like cheered and got all excited instead of like, instead of just like they were AMRAPing for 3 minutes and then it just like
fizzling,
like actually had a race at the end, you know?
Yeah. Like it would have just been exciting for them to just kill themselves and then like finish.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, okay, I got 4.5 rounds or whatever.
Yeah. It's weird to have it. I've never seen a 3-minute AMRAP like in the games. Like usually you make it a for time sprint. So
yeah.
And it was supposed to be with an axle bar, and they like the clips didn't fit the end. I think that's what I watched Hiller's take on all of it, and he said that it seems like they didn't test any of these workouts for the reasons that we just talked about how 2 for times ended up being AMRAPs, but back to the deadlift sled one, that like they didn't even test to see if they could load all of the weight on the axle bar to make it as heavy as it was supposed to be with the clips on it. And they ended up like 15 minutes before the workout having to go to a normal barbell to get the weight that they wanted for it.
I do want to talk about the hard thing is I can't even weigh in on this about the racing or the excitement because overly invested. I have athletes and I'm paying attention to the floor. For casual spectators, they're not doing what I'm doing and they don't know who's first. They don't know, like, especially when it's friends and family, I don't really do CrossFit. So like, I agree with you guys. It needs to be watchable and exciting in that way and like really dumbed down for people who don't know a whole lot about the sport. That would make it very exciting. For me though, the sled deadlift, because I'm able to watch like singular me, was very exciting. As far as the deadlift thing, the workout came out and like the caption said how it was like heavy, grindy, whatever. And I had a group text of the masters on it. And like, I was already upset because I felt like that workout should be at 3 minutes, should be a light deadlift, light sled, and just burn the house down. And then the fact that like they couldn't fit the clips on, because it goes back to like what Hiller said and what you're saying is I don't think they tested the workouts either. Or if they did, it was with a very inappropriate athlete for this group of people.
Sure.
And it would have been so much cooler to go 3 rounds for time, sled down, back down. So you start it near their deadlift, push it down, push it back, push it down. So then it's by there or whatever. And you figure out how they're going to end with the sled push across the line. And they do 3 deadlifts and they do 10 rounds for time and you go. That would be way better. And it'd be easy enough when they got, and you just have the judge stand on the end line and you don't even have to have them really even judge unless they're not opening their hips all the way in the deadlift. Like, what are you going to, they got the sled across enough. Like, get over it. Make the race exciting. Stand on the end line. And when they got 5 rounds left, they put their 5 hands up and then 4, 3, 2. And you got everybody in the crowd can see those athletes the same way they did at the games where they had the little markers of like how many reps people got, what round they were in. The electronic, like looks like a time clock that you would have in a rogue clock in your gym. It counts like their rounds. I think doing stuff like that would be really cool in the future for the sport to make it very spectator friendly. It doesn't have to be 10 rounds. I just think like doing 3 and 3. So you go 30 sled push lengths and 30 deadlifts would be a way cooler workout. And then also more games like for these athletes. And then as long as you're having somebody on the end line hold up their hand for like what round they're on for the spectators or like the thing, it would be very exciting for people.
Mm-hmm.
And like the lift could have been light. The axle bar would have been sick. They should have just said, all right,
we're just going to go lighter.
It's going to be 40 pounds heavy or less.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
All right. Just because we're on this workout, unpopular opinion, probably. Do you think that's a singular modality test?
Yes. Anybody else?
No.
You could disagree. No, it's not single modality. Why?
No, because you're using 2 implements. It can't be singular.
Go ahead, argue it.
Argue it.
What do you think, Heather?
Let's hear it.
I mean, you're using your hamstrings and your posterior chain for both movements, so I think it could be singular.
But no.
Why?
Because it's not one modality.
That's true. The deadlift, movement selection. You could have 2 movement selections. I think
that's like saying, well, I'm doing wall balls and air squats, so it's a single modality. It's not. They're 2 different movements.
Yeah, but I look at those as like a drop set, superset of the same thing.
Fair enough, but it's
Harley. I agree.
But if you do a drop set from strict pull-ups to ring rows, you're doing.
Is this the same that the echo rower?
It's still. Hey,
man!
If we get really crazy, it is. They both are weightlifting movements.
Sure.
So technically, and if we go GMW, it's a weightlifting movement. Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're both, unless you're super quad dominant and you don't really know how to push a sled. Both are posterior chain driven to a degree. There's obviously some quad involved. I think what Harley might be getting at too, and I agree with this, is it was a sled workout and how fast you could run with the sled and not let your legs blow up. The deadlifts were, unless you made them super heavy, which they tried to do, but they brought out the regular bars and they weren't that heavy. It goes back to my main point. They should have just went with a light deadlift with the axle bar.
Well, they actually went inverse because I heard it was a 35 bar. So the bar was extra small.
Well, that was only for the first heat because that's how they brought them out for the 75-year-olds because they were already in a pickle and the women's bars were loaded. So then they brought out the women's bars because they had to start because it's all in the live feed. That just happens sometimes. Not great, but
yeah.
Well,
I think they ended up turning the bars.
What about wall balls and 20-pound thrusters? Yeah, those are the same thing.
But they ended up turning the bars, right? Because I think they were like pushing the sled, then they had to like jump over the bar and then like deadlift, and then by the later heats they had turned it so they weren't like having to do that. Which
let's see what Marissa's chiming in. She says, "I think the way you use modality, anything is more than singular movement, even if it's the same pattern. It's still single modality."
There it is.
All right.
No, correct. That's what we're saying, Todd. She's agreeing with us.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Tyler. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Even if it's, I get it. She says if it's the same pattern, it's still single modality. I was more so like leaning towards Harley with it was inconsequential to the test.
Yeah, that's
that like
what I was
you were
thinking.
just pushing the sled. So for me, as a coach, if like you were told athletes they're going to go do this event, and we had 8 weeks out to train, I would just train the sled and like echo bike to get that burn.
Well, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, I felt like the deadlifts were so irrelevant because they were so fast that it was like you were literally pushing the sled for like 3 minutes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There were some there. You're right. 100%. Most people were that way, but there were some people out there who like had a hard time with that deadlift though.
So here's my whole perspective and reflection about it. And the reason I brought it up is that, yes, it is 2 separate movements. Yes, if you categorize it via CrossFit's MGW, it'd be WW. That's totally fine.
WW.
So that's totally fine within that categorization. What I'm saying from a single modality is the people who have the best sled pushing capacity and posterior chain endurance. It's a local muscular endurance test. So that said, like, it doesn't necessarily mean it's by definition a single movement test, but you're testing one quality and one quality only.
Yeah, that's fair.
then that's what I meant by single modality. Like you might as well just do, I'm not saying this is the same, but I'm saying that having 3-minute max cal echo bike, like
you're going to get the same winners of the event.
You might get the same winners is my point. Is
that
like
likely.
It's pretty likely.
Yeah.
And so it's like the same, like what made me think about this was the person that you were arguing with during the run about single modality tests. Are they good for CrossFit competitions or not? And you were like, well, just you clearly haven't taken your level 2.
Let's tell that story.
And you're like tearing this poor lady down.
Wait, tell us.
So Harley and I said, I'll tell the story.
Burn.
I'll tell the story, Harley. You chime in. So we're standing there on the bridge. There's a bridge you can look down, and we're waiting for people to come because Harley's trying to get 6 shots. And actually, did you get any 6 shots from there? You didn't post any.
No.
Oh, come on, dude. Anyways, well, they were all blue at that moment in time, regardless. So they're coming down. We'll tell that story too. Hey, he took it. That's good. Anyways, they're coming down, and this lady, like we're talking about or whatever, and the programming comes up, and she was like, I just really don't like that they're testing single modalities. And I was like, that's really interesting. What do you like mean by that? And she's like, well, they got like the running or like whatever. And I was like, okay, but they have like the run, which is monostructural, and they have the clean and jerk, which is weightlifting. So like kind of evens it out. Like you're testing the specialists. And then I was like, so you've never done like single modality, like heavy day in class. You've never done like a 5K run or a 2K row, like just for your class workouts. And she was like, well, like, like, and I was like, so like, did you ever take your level 2 and like look at the movement selection, how you program design for CrossFit, or like, have you ever looked at .com? And I'm just like ripping her, and Harley's like just shooting photos. And I know he was just like, oh my God, dude, shut up. Like he doesn't get it.
Well,
like,
what was her answer? Has she never done anything like single modality work ever?
She eventually like was like, oh, okay. I was like, you could not like the workouts. That's totally fine. But like, as far as CrossFit's concerned, like they are CrossFit at its purest form.
Yeah.
So true, CJ.
Let's see. This poor lady had no idea what she was getting herself into. Gonna offer me the top.
Like the second he started,
She didn't know who she was next to.
Dude, listen, she probably did. She's friends with Jamie Latimer, and she's also friends with Carolyn Prevost. And she was just like talking it up. And I was like, yeah, okay. What do you got to add to the story, Harley?
Just what CJ said. Yeah, this poor lady, she had no idea like what she was getting into. Even if she knew who you were, she didn't know what she was getting into.
No.
And I was just observing. So
that's really interesting.
Fly on the wall.
Why do you think
that interaction to me is what sort of planted the seed in my mind, I think. And then I was talking to Kyle Ruth about that workout and how it could have been different and a different set of tests or whatever. We could have made a more balanced set of tests. And that said, it sort of spun down that rabbit hole of like, what was this test even like actually finding for us, like within the greater scheme of the testing body? And it's like, okay, like if you just need something short and you just need more points on the board to like spread people out on the leaderboard, I think there's a better way to utilize 3 minutes, because this is only testing the one quality, which is posterior chain endurance and at a high turnover, right? That's really all it is. And it's like, so I'm like, oh, going back to that conversation, well, there's another single modality test for them. And so whether or not it's truly defined that way, that's just where my head was at. Yeah.
I mean, overall.
So what would have been a better test in your mind, Harley, for the 3 minutes? Like if they wanted to do a 3-minute test and that's what they came up with, what would you?
I told you the 10 rounds of sled push 3 and 3.
I'm asking Harley, Todd. Harley.
No, he agreed.
I know what you said.
He likes that workout. He agreed.
Gosh.
No, I like it from a quality, like the things that you were talking about of like a viewership and tracking what's going on and having horizontal displacement to the finish line because that creates exciting moments to race, right? All the things we've already said, like if you did the 10 rounds, sure. But I think if you just took like a movement from over here and put it over here, and like if you just sort of like went like this with a couple of movements, I think the test would have been better. But that's all shoulda, coulda, wouldas. It doesn't matter, right? Like the tests were the tests.
It is fun to talk about because it's good for athletes and coaches to know, like, because that's how you build people the programming and the training and get better at training.
I guess the conclusion is that I would have liked to see something complementary in nature, not compounding in nature. So like a hanging gymnastics with that sled sprint. That would have been sick, right? Like clearly they didn't have a rig on that floor, and if you needed something to be done without, an implement, okay, then go deadlift, handstand, walk. Like you could have done something that is still horizontal in nature, displacement wise, like the sled, but is not necessarily just WW posterior chain.
Yep.
I like that.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, they could have just moved the rope climbs over.
Yeah, that would have been, well, it comes back to the rig issue, right? So I'm trying to find something that's not necessarily rig based.
Yeah, but they had 2 rigs out there, man. Now
I know you could do whatever you wanted.
Yeah, you do whatever. Yeah,
if it's all hypotheticals, anyways.
Rigs for the same workout, like they
bring another rig.
I mean, they already
and they write the work. I would assume they write the workouts and then figure out the layout. They don't do the layout and then figure out the workout. So if they wanted to do that, they would have figured out, like, if we wanted a rope climb and a sled push, they would have written the workout and then figured out the floor plan for that.
How about an A-frame rig with no pull-up bars on it, or just an A-frame rig with pull-up bars like they had at
sled and redo the 2019 workout.
Exactly. That would have been sick.
Sled sprint to bar muscle ups.
That would have been really cool.
And then move around the ring muscle ups and the rope climbs.
Sure. Just drop one of those two. Yeah. Drop the rings and only do rope climbs.
Because they could have did rings or they could do chest to bar overhead squat and box jump over it, and it would get the same outcome.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean that's what's crazy too, is we talk about like training and the qualities, and it's like, yeah, I haven't looked at the leaderboard, but just watching visually, the same people, as long as they didn't have a meltdown on those snatches, because that was wild on the final event. A lot of that's from the pressure, but if there wasn't meltdowns in the snatches in the finals event, the event they did on Saturday night is the same event that they did on Sunday morning. And Saturday night was the ring muscle up, overhead squat, box jump over. And Sunday morning, the final event was rope climbs, wall walks, and snatches. And essentially the same, very, very similar. And it looked to me that the outcome of where people fell, and like Lauren and Haley, Haley didn't do the final event, where like Luca fell in the ring muscle ups and where Lauren fell in the ring muscle ups was also where they fell in the final event relative to the 15 field versus the 30 field.
Yeah, I mean, it made for a shakeup of the leaderboard if the strongest people, theoretically, like in the other set of tests, in the, Lauren got to front load a bunch of points early on in the weekend. It made for an anticlimactic finish for her experience, but it made for a very climactic change of the tides, because the strengths versus weaknesses sort of flip-flopped. It became an inverse relationship there.
Also, people cracked under pressure because there was
that too, for sure.
In the like the 35-39, I think, wasn't there a 3-way tie for first or some shit? And then, like the 50 to 54-year-old females, Jen Dieter was in first by a good margin.
Do you still have that video?
I have it. Got last basically, and then went down to third. And there was not just her, there were some other shakeups too, like, which made it super exciting. But it shouldn't be exciting because of that, Like, I don't think it should be exciting because people are losing their positions. Like, because I am annoyed that Lauren was in third basically all weekend long until 2 events. So 6 out of 8 events, she's in third. So much so that like after the second event on Saturday, I was like, I think you moved down to 5th, like running the points. And then she texted me when the points get settled. She's like, I'm in third, bitch. And I was like, okay, cool, dude. I like that. I like that kind of energy, man. Bring it. But then, but she's there the whole weekend, and then 2 events, she's not, and she finishes 7th, which is phenomenal for her. And she's super proud of it. I'm proud of her. But like, that's when I start looking at things and like what you're bringing up. They weren't balanced tests in that degree. Now, did the fittest make it? I think the first place person definitely was meant to be there, but I think Jen Dieter should have been first. She was the fittest of that age group, but that's not how it played out. There were some other upsets there too. I don't want to hate on Scott. I don't think he's the fittest. I think Con and Marquand Jones might be a little bit fitter than him if we had different tests, more tests. It just wasn't a balanced test enough to really stamp and make that claim if we're testing fitness. Now, was it a test of exercises and movements and constant varied functional fitness, and did it fall under the line of CrossFit? Sure, it did. But I just think there was a lot left on the table, and a misunderstanding and misalignment of those workouts, what they could do, and just didn't play it out. ahead of time enough, I don't think. Everyone's silent because that was harsh.
No, it's good. I agree completely. And also, Marissa reminded us of the point system being changed for that final 15 for that last event. So that clearly, so I was going to say is like, if we acknowledge that the Saturday night event with ring muscle up overhead squat and the final workout are very similar in a lot of qualities, Lauren was then punished twice for that. Okay, you're double dipping of like where someone's getting punished because the movement qualities and what you're testing for is so similar.
Mhm.
And then you go take Marissa's point into account too. And then you're like almost triple punished because the point system's now like more valuable. Right.
Yeah, they made that workout more valuable. And like people will argue back and forth about, well, you know, you should have made the cut or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, but it doesn't matter because that's how it played out. Like that's the reality of it. And you could like, again, play shoulda, coulda, wouldas. But because you did that, now you're saying that that singular workout is more important to test people than the other 7 because you gave it a weighted score more than the other weighted scores.
So per this set of tests and acknowledging the heavier weight of the final event, we now know that high skill pulling paired with a snatch grip overhead position, possibly in a squat, you know, and some other movement that is either going to compound the shoulders and or increase heart rate, that's the most valuable set of tests or movements within a test in the entire CrossFit ecosystem.
Well,
according to them.
According to Bob and Joe.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. According to them.
Yeah.
That's the most valuable.
We've had confirmation that all these workouts were done by Bob and Joe. You know, they got feedback. I have some feedback for them if they care. They got feedback from CrossFit that some people have come out and said very politically correct, even Adrian Bosman, that it was ignored, which isn't great because you're also working with the pit teen throwdown and Brock. I have never had a negative thing to say about Brock's workouts for the pit teen throwdowns, and we've coached athletes at that event. Event runs great. Now, could some workouts like have not been in the dirt? Sure. But I mean, that's like the whole vibe and feel for his whole event. I mean, some of these kids got wrecked, dude. They're covered in mud, which is kind of funny when you think about it. But like, it's like, was that really necessary?
Well, my issue with that is then you're having kids and or people, like I think about my event in NorCal back last time I did it,
same thing.
Burpees over the log in the sand. And it's like my asthma was wrecked. Like my lungs were destroyed for like 3 days because I just.
That's a Todd dirt problem. Yeah, I don't like
You don't like dirt, Todd?
I hyperventilated so much dust in. I imagine those kids did the same. Like,
dude, yeah.
It's a whole other layer to it.
And I heard too, just kind of talking with people in like the vendor area. And I know Mark was talking with people and like they were saying that Brock and Bob and Joe actually came up with workouts in January. And then 2 months ago, Bob and Joe changed all of them and Brock didn't know about it. And so
why you got to drop that T on here, dude?
I don't know. That's what I heard.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was
me.
fine with the fact that like they maybe didn't think everything through.
I hope you got credible sources.
I did.
No, it doesn't matter now. It's out there. It's real. It's gonna spread.
I'm just saying, it's like that would make sense, right? Where it's like with the deadlift workout and not having like the weight being able to be on the bar and like not really thinking maybe through some of the logistic things or testing things all the way through.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
Yeah, I mean it's hard because like it's so hard because they did a great job, and that's a hard thing to do. Run an event like that,
right?
Get the help and assistance. Like whoever's idea it was to get the broadcast team from Ohio State and have them do that, great idea. You know, it turned out well. There's so many things that they did so well. And it's hard because you don't want to criticize that because everything's so small that like you take one criticism, it can get blown up. And then we don't have age group games or anyone to run it. And that may or may not be true, but you know, they're doing a very hard job. I think the point of it is like, okay, well, we all want to get this better. And for somebody who's coached masters for a really long time in these groups and looking at these tests and what they have masters do, sometimes I think they don't ask the right people of what people are capable of, and they're just looking through their lens because Bob and Joe are masters. They have a lot of friends who are masters. But the problem is if you keep asking the tip of the spear masters what they can do, you're going to have these issues that you're seeing at the events because the masters games even though they're so superhuman, are similar to like the games in 2012, 2013, where the athletes aren't complete enough for you to just roll out and willy-nilly whatever you want. And that we saw that happen in the early years of the CrossFit Games, where people had these huge deficits, and it still shows up. Like even this last weekend, the only group that doesn't really have a deficit, and I would argue actually only the top like 10 of them, is like the 35, 39. Everybody else still has really huge deficits.
Not the teens.
When you watch them, like, okay, Addison, for example.
But
She's
not,
Big
it wasn't
holes.
in the top.
Not for her, but just
yeah,
teams
yeah,
in
okay.
general.
The top five to maybe top 10. Sure, I could get on board and you can make it in all groups. But the problem is, and that's what leads me to like, okay, do we just cut it back down to 10 worldwide? And I would say that's a bad choice because you need spectatorship, you need fans, and that's where all the fans come from. So, and you could easily, those people will still shine, they'll still do great, and easily accommodate for the varying degree and disparity of athletes from, let's say, 11th through 30th. Because when you go look at the leaderboard, those groups of people are anywhere from 180 to 300 points ahead of like the last place person. And for people who don't know, you get 100 points per workout. It gets distributed. Those people in the top 10 basically did 1 to 2 workouts worth of points that the bottom half didn't do. Not even the bottom half. I would say like the 2/3 half, like the 2/3 of athletes didn't do points wise. So and to me, that just shows huge deficits in fitness.
For sure. And you can also see like big tiers acknowledging the leaderboard, right? Like you're just talking about the spread, but it's like there are just bottlenecks of different capabilities all the way down the leaderboard at most events. So like you look at any online qualifier, this is an easy place to do it. And you could see like where there's elite cutoff, like Desert City specifically, there's a cutoff for top 20, right? But the top 22 is actually elite. So I talked to the organizer. He was like, there's a huge drop off from 22 to 23, huge drop off of points and placement capability. They're like, we're actually going to extend the line down to 23 because we think that those ladies are actually elite and they're going to blow the RX field out of the water. And it's not going to be fun for anyone. And then they're going to create that new line. So it's like looking at the games, it's like within these age groups that, to Todd's point, there's still so many holes and they're not complete to where you can still see those tiers of capabilities, just even within a net or a group of 30 athletes, right? Like you can see the top 10 look different than the bottom 10. And then there's literally like the highest skill, intermediate, and then like, hanging on by a thread. In some things, of course.
That was very apparent with the tests that they put out.
Because each one had such a huge skill or weight limitation to it.
Yeah. And because they weren't tested, and like those are always like the things that we learn from. And it was easy this time to learn it from the games or a competition because it was so like right in your face as a coach. It's like, okay, these athletes are not complete enough to really play the game. Like this number of athletes on the leaderboard in this point or this aspect or this characteristic, which is cool as a coach because I'm like, all right, well, this makes a lot of people beatable. Like if you want to get to the games, like, okay, well, we know where the holes are, so just figure out where your holes are, fix them, and then just dominate in these other things. Like honestly, right now, if you're a masters athlete, if you could do 10 female and male, realistically, 10 ring muscle ups unbroken for 2 to 3 sets with like a 1 to 2 minute rest in between, you are going to crush people. Like just absolutely obliterate people in a lot of gymnastics workouts. Like that would be all you'd have to really like focus on. And other things would get better. Your rope climbs, your toes to bar, your chest to bar, because of that skill set. We're going to say, Harley.
No, that's good.
And like you only see that by going in person and watching. And that's what like throughout the live feed, almost the kill time too. But when people got on, but like the live feed, like if you go back and watch, like you already noticed, it only shows the people in the lead. And so that's why it was cool that Haley was like in the lead. So she gets a bunch of airtime in that workout, which is awesome. I love it. Love it when our athletes get airtime. But you can't see the rest of the field. And so going to these events in person, like if you're a coach, like that's where I've 10x'd myself as a coach by watching and analyzing the leaderboard, the field, the capabilities, like what they're doing. And that was like the biggest takeaway from this weekend is that the masters are really incomplete, all the age groups, even the teens. So all age groups are really incomplete as athletes. And I think the two areas for opportunity is aerobic capacity and or fitness, whatever you want to call it. Simple fitness, rowing, burpees, box jumps, wall balls, running, all the machines, and just becoming a beast at gymnastics. That's why I use the ring muscle up example, because it's like quote unquote the pinnacle of gymnastics in our space. Like that's where you should really focus your time. Unless you're weak, then but then you're probably not good at anything else. But I'm saying like when you're already at like a level and you're pretty proficient at everything to a degree, and you're like, how do I just like break through? Well, can you do 18 burpees a minute? Okay, well, let's get you to 22 burpees a minute. And can you can do one ring muscle up? Well, let's get you to 5 unbroken and repeat those efforts. That was my biggest takeaway from the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I think specifically from a number standpoint, like there's such a premium, especially in the age groups, for having the high skills. But I think you have to have that fitness to even get the opportunity to get there. Yeah. Like I've talked about Stephanie a couple times. She missed going to age group semifinals by like a handful of spots, literally like less than 10 spots on the open leaderboard. And yet she goes to age group semifinals, the heavier weights, the higher skills come out, and she does phenomenally well with you guys in Rochester at your athlete camp when you had everyone do it. Yet she never even got the opportunity to show up. So if you are more complete in the higher weight, higher skill side of things, it's like, it's clear. You just have to work your fitness and maintain your the other skills.
You do like Nate said, 22 burpees a minute, fire. Bro, I was doing 18.
Light yourself on fire, bro.
I was doing 18 today. I'm an 18 kind of guy. Yeah, I mean, that goes back, like the fitness thing too, goes to like what Marissa said. It's like, yeah, like they did the 7K. She's talking about the difference. So like 5K has been done. So let's just add some. And, that is a mindset that a lot of these programmers have. And it's just like, well, let's just add a few. Cause like, I don't know why they did the 7K. They just do an 8K because 8K is pretty common in running events. You sign up for like a 5K, 8K, 10K, half marathon. Like when they have like the extra running events at marathon events. I don't know why they went 7K, but
8K is gonna be too much like High Rocks, and they also used a sled, so therefore they're just really towing that line. So they're like 7 is just that sweet spot.
It's not quite High Rocks, but just enough. Yeah, you see who now? Oh, Bruce Strength High Rocks program, baby.
Really, that's funny because I talked to Elle about just different like marketing not ploys, but directions. Ploy is not the right word, directions. And I said something about High Rocks and Proven, and he was like, it's all CrossFit. That's stupid. And I'm like, he didn't actually say it like that.
He has nothing to do with
it. So I find it a little bit funny that CrossFit. You just said, no, it is CrossFit. I was like, everything's CrossFit. Totally. And like, he's like, that's my point. I'm like, no, I hear you. But I just found it funny that now you brought that up.
Yeah. Well, they just renounced it today. So I thought about it. And you said High Rocks. So
the timing is perfect.
Yeah, it's probably a good program, dude. Brute writes good.
No, 100%. I'm not talking anything down about Brute. I'm not saying anything negative about Brute. Not at all. I just thought
High Rocks class in our gym. You guys could come. It's super fun. It's CrossFit, but not CrossFit. It's fun. It's fun CrossFit, not hard work CrossFit.
Wait, it's not hard work.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What?
I don't know.
I don't think you're doing it right. If
it's still hard. I'm like, yeah.
8K is pretty hard.
Are you kidding me?
Listen, it just draws a certain
8K threshold, easy day, guys.
Yeah, 8K threshold, easy. Ask Cody. You just run in at threshold, no problem. Science.
Dude.
Same thing with Nate. Science, dude. We science them into good runners. It's great.
Yeah, boy.
All right. What else did we learn? I mean, we had a great time. Our athletes did really well. If you haven't seen our post on Instagram, go like those. Push up those analytics, check them out, read a little about them. We put some fun things in there.
I learned how to not make photos blue.
Yeah.
Not take blue pictures.
The first day, Harley, he was great about it. And I was like, giving him feedback. And I did say that there's art in photography. So I was like trying to leave it because I didn't know if that's what he was going for. And if that's what he was going for, I didn't want to like step on his toes or anything. But I was also like, oh, these are kind of blue. Like, I don't personally like the coloring, but what are you going for here? And he was like, they're not blue. And we're sitting at the table and like, I could see it on his computer and he turns around. I'm like, dude, that's a gray shirt that they gave Luca because they gave him gray, white, and black. And I was like, that looks like a navy t-shirt. Like that's not.
I was like, I guess, but like not
And he
not
was
really.
like,
I was like, his skin tone's still good. Like his skin tone wasn't like too pale. And
But
so
he
I was
goes,
like really confused.
it's not blue. I'm like, dude, that looks really navy. And so we turn it back around. We have Jen and Brian look at it, and they're like, yeah, the shirt looks navy. And I was like, dude, are you like colorblind? Like, what's going on?
Now I'm colorblind.
I forgot. I'm colorblind.
I'm colorblind now, apparently.
For blue and gray, you just can't see it.
I'm just like, it's just like, it's not that like pronounced to like take away from the quality of the photo. It's still a nice photo.
Oh yeah.
But regardless, it's just blue. And then, so anyways, so Todd's like, oh, just like pull the blue down in the color grading. I'm like, all right, sounds good. So we did that, and I did that.
Then he also texts me because I was like already at the venue. And he's like, well, don't worry. I always get better in the second day when I take photos. And I was like, all right, cool. And then
I did. But now the running joke is that all of my photos are blue, whether they're blue or not. And Todd's like,
you tell
learn
me
how to
Alex's photos.
What?
What'd you tell me about Alex's photos that you think the setting might have been on?
Oh yeah. So okay, I will get back to that in a second. But so now the running joke is everything's blue. And then Todd's like, learn how to take feedback, because I kept telling him that everything's still blue.
Yeah,
oh dang it.
Yeah.
He's like, learn how to take feedback.
It's blue.
I was like, come on, man, just take the feedback. It's okay. You can stop talking about it. The photos were blue.
And I was like, well, I am taking the feedback. That's why they're no longer blue. But I'm gonna keep reminding you about it for the rest of my life.
It's good. The blue photos.
Yeah, and I took photos of Alex, and I think that I genuinely had the camera on aquatic mode, like for underwater photography, which makes everything a little bit blue.
Nice.
So there's a darn good chance that all of my day one photos were on the wrong setting in general. That's why they have a slightly blue tint. But
when you told me, I was like, so they were blue.
They were blue. Yeah.
I thought it was an editing thing. I didn't.
No, I thought it was too, but he thinks it might have been on aquatic mode.
I think that I genuinely made the mistake and put it on aquatic mode, because here's the difference, right? The aquatic mode says AWB, auto white balance, with a little fish next to it. And then AWB with no fish, just the letters, is non-aquatic mode. Yeah. And I didn't even notice the fish on day one. I don't think.
The fish.
The fish ruined my photos.
They were blue. Let's see.
They were still good photos. You guys still posted them, so whatever.
From he was at the aquarium.
For real.
You're at the aquarium checking out the fish. I want to take sweet photos of this pufferfish. Dude, it was good.
So,
but anyways, his photos
did a good job on the
quality
video stuff.
She did. Yeah, that was actually another funny thing, because like everybody knows how I am, and I legit just like, I was like, whatever, because I had all the athletes, and oh yeah, shout out to Heather. You did a good job when you were warming up some of the athletes. You did great. Because I had so many, and then they started running kind of back to back, and Harley was like, dude, did you see the schedule for Saturday, bro? Like there's a lot of overlap. I was like, I got it. It's okay. And then I had Heather help out, but I was just like, fuck, there's no way I can do like the photography or video stuff like I normally do and help Harley. So I was like, well, all right, Sophia. And I like handed her the camera. I was like, here's some settings. It'll be okay. And like, I'll teach you as we go. Cause like I would come out from the back and watch the heat, and I kind of help her and like show her what some shots are. And she's got a pretty good eye. There's quite a few shots that I was like, but she did also a pretty good job of like deleting certain ones that weren't that great, which I watched, like I was watching her do it, because she would like look at it and like you could tell she didn't like it, so she would delete it, which is something like I do a lot. But it was funny because everyone was like, dude, you just like that's crazy. That's so uncharacteristic of you. You just handed her the camera. It's got like the monitor on it. And like, I basically handed her like $6,000 and was like, all right, have fun, and walked away.
Yeah. I thought she did a really good job. I mean, she was learning a lot. I thought
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. She didn't even learn that. What was her response? Brian goes, I'm gonna win first. It's in the reel. He's like, I'm gonna get first. And this was before the workout. So he called his shot and he did get first. And Harley hears him, and I'm
like out of frame. I'm just like sitting at the table nearby, and I'm like, hell yeah, brother. And you just hear my voice like out of echoing in the distance. And Sophia goes, oh yeah, he gonna win. or something like that.
I was like, has she ever heard that saying? Like, very funny. The other saying that Luca heard for the first time in his life and thought the person who told him it made it up was, your world is your oyster.
The world.
So the world is your oyster. He's never heard that saying.
Really?
And he thought, I think his mom told him it.
I mean, he is 15. He hasn't lived
True,
long
but that's
enough.
like a crazy experience for me to stand
Such
there.
wise words, Mom.
Yeah, exactly. That was really good. Did you make that up?
Yeah.
But no, it's good. You know what's even crazier too is the after the fact videos coming out, like proven, and just even talking to the coaches. I mean, Harley, you're in the back, and we talk to a lot of coaches and build relationships that way. And just often we're just talking about training, like how's somebody doing this, how are they doing that, who do you have, like, and just trying to talk shop to a degree to learn, to almost half the time learn and figure out if we're doing a good job. And it's wild to, we talked about the difference on the leaderboard. And the more that I talk to some of these high level athletes, and I've said this for a really long time, but the time they spend in the gym, especially in the age groups that we just talked to, is obscene. They're almost doing the same amount of time as like individuals. And I'm talking about the kids and adults that are in the top 10 on the podium. Like, all they do is their significant other or kids, their job in CrossFit. And Heather and I talked a ton about like the price is the price, right? Heather and I were talking about today about like her, and like some days she's just not hyped about doing the training, and it takes a lot of energy for her to like muster up that training and get hyped. And that's the price for her.
Mm-hmm.
The price is like mustering the energy, getting hyped about training, and then coming in and having good attitude whilst doing the training that she already like despised doing, to achieve and reach the goal. And it's like, oh man, how many of those athletes are going through that, who are working out 3 to 5 hours a day? And then I was talking to Marissa about it too, because like some of the people, I was like, man, yeah, that makes sense. Because like if you have a weightlifting issue, like you're going to spend anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes on like a snatch clean and jerk session. Then you're going to rest a little bit, and you're going to spend another 20 to 30 minutes on a squat piece, and then you're going to rest a little bit, and then you're going to spend another 20 to 30 minutes. So you're anywhere from an hour to 90 minutes, and you've only done A, B, and C. And it's like your Olympic lift, your squat, and some accessory to the Olympic lift and the squat. And then like you may have, depending on your deficiency, a little bit more accessory and then some conditioning. So you have another probably hour to hour and a half of work, and you're at like 2 to 3 hours of training, based on the hole that you're in relative to your goal that you want to achieve. And like, there's really no way around it. There's literally no way around that, because it just takes the time that it takes, and it takes the cost that is that cost. And it's just kind of a thing where I was like, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, I think that's really valuable though, too, because it's like you're talking about me personally in our conversation that we just had today, but that's a conversation that I have with a lot of my athletes. I think I have a lot of athletes that are still developing a lot of skills, and, conversations I'm having with them where it's like, it's hard to come in and do training that literally feels like they're not getting anywhere, or it's just, it's challenging every
or it's
day,
just hard.
Yeah, it's just hard, right? Well,
Yeah.
they are getting somewhere. I'm just saying, like, it
Rowing and
feels
burpees
like
is not fun
it
or
feels
easy.
like it because it's just hard, and it's the thing they need to work on, And so I think it's really valuable to like talk about that, because
Wait, I got a question for the chat. Anyone in the chat think or feel like rowing and burpees at near peak intensity is fun? Just put that in the chat for me.
Marissa will say yes, I'm sure.
Okay.
Nate had fun.
I had fun.
Back in my day, I used to have fun.
Now but you do like a quarter of the time that most people do. Sorry, bro.
He can have an opinion, but he's doing it for 40
saying.
minutes. Is that what you're saying?
He's, hey.
Fun for 3 rounds.
I know I'm saying his total training is like anywhere from like an hour to 90 minutes. And I try to cut it down as best I can.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to compete.
Yeah.
So it's like hard, because you're like playing that line of like, how do I do this for 90 minutes to an hour and maybe less? Near impossible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's also good to hear, because I think a lot of people it's like, if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. And so it's great that you have a one-on-one coach, because you're going to cut the curve on your training and focus on the things you need to focus on for that hour or 90 minutes. But I think it's also valuable for people to understand that, like, when you're in there, it's like you have to be in it. Yeah. Like, you can't just like come in and just, I mean, some days it's going to be like that, I guess. But most of the time, you need to really come in and give everything you have to those pieces and understand, like, that's what you got and that's what you're working on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the bright side is that, especially in masters, like we said, they're not fully complete. Like, there's nobody who's so superstar and can do everything. Even little Grubby has some problems, you know, Jason Grubb. I just call him Grubby because I think it's funny. And you can break through, right? So, like, they're not as superhuman. They're real people who have real lives and real jobs. And that's why you hear the stories about those things all the time. Like, you know, Haley, for example, has had a hard season, and that's due to her job and her kids and everything else, and still made it to the games and still put herself first in the times that she could, and has worked her fucking ass off and done a phenomenal job with what she had. And like, I've done my best to try and bring it down with still maintaining a level that would allow her to compete and everything else. But it's still such a huge challenge. And those stories are not the few, they are the many. Mm-hmm. And that, I think that's the biggest takeaway. Like, even the one kid on Proven, I sent it over to Sophia. He's getting interviewed, and I think his name's Brendan. Yeah. Bradley. It starts with a B. Anyways, he got second in Luca's division. And he literally tells them, because they ask, and he's like, well, I go to school and like, that's whatever. And then I come home, I eat a little bit, and then I go to the gym, and I'm there for like 3 to 5 hours. Yeah. And he does like a weightlifting class that they have, and he does his CrossFit, and he does all this stuff, and he gets coached by Dwight on Proven. And like, you know, he does have the piece in there where, you know, he was pretty good at CrossFit. He had a talent for it, and he got his face kicked in at last year's games when he was 14. And then he got Dwight and like has made huge progress. One of the things he said was he could only do like 3 ring muscle ups at a time, and he went to being able to do 10 ring muscle ups at a time. And it's like you're saying, Heather, that's the gap that gets bridged with a one-on-one coach. Like, there's no progress that's going to be made faster by doing a blog than working with a one-on-one coach. Or going to class and working with a one-on-one coach. And if your goal is to make progress and jump, you have to be with a one-on-one coach, because everybody is there was not a single person there. Like, there was a few people where they're like, I do class. And I was like, yeah, bullshit. And then you look, because you look at their resume, and they were at one time, but competing for a long time, had a coach. Cause I looked up the person, cause they were like trying to play off like they do class or whatever. And I was like, I don't know. So like, again, you're at a high level. Sure. Once you get up there, you can sustain it with the class, but you got to get up to that level first before you can sustain it and maintain it.
Or you could just take a year and do cycling and lose it all.
that was just one of the things. And like, again, it's like the top 10 people, right? So like, I think you can get there with less, but don't expect more if you've done the less. And if you have a really good coach, whether that's us or Mayhem or Proven or Brute or whoever, or TTT, because we're all great in the space. We're all friends. We all know each other. We're in the back shooting the shit. Like, we're talking about you, okay? Not in a negative way, but we're about the athletes and what we're going through and what we're learning as a coach and what we're dealing with. And like, we have all these deep relationships. What are you listening to, Harley?
That's not me.
That was mine.
Oh gosh, dancing, getting crazy. But yeah, we're doing all that, and everyone is phenomenal. Right. So you couldn't get a bad coach, to be honest, if you're getting a one-on-one coach at this point, when I name like some of those big names. But that's what it takes. It really does. And it takes the time and everything else. But you could do one-on-one, like Heather's saying, and make some huge progress there as well. Just don't expect something that's when you're not doing what's expected. And the unfortunate thing is, I made the joke. Somebody said something, and I was like, well, you could just tell all the masters to stop doing those. Oh, CC, the ring muscle ups. I was joking because, like, you know, a lot of the girls in the 55, 59 still can't do those ring muscle ups. There was the few that like ripped through the fucking workout. Lee Coates straight crushed it and got first place. And like, but when you're standing there, it's 70% of the girls can't even do them. Like, they're doing one at a time. It was super inappropriate to even have them doing them. Even the cool stories of like the 65-year-old master or 75-year-old master, it was like one guy, and they're just like, oh, this is so amazing. It's like, Yeah, but what about the other 15
20,
guys?
yeah, 14
Mhm.
people.
It's like, what are you talking about? But it's cool
Yeah.
and it's possible. But because if you're not there, you can't see it, and your perception gets really skewed, I think, too, as like an athlete or somebody without a coach. But it is one of those things where like the problem is the athletes push the bar, you know, and so that's why I made the joke with CC. I was like, well, if you're mad about it, just go ahead and walk over to all these athletes and say, don't do any. Like, do a boycott. So they never get programmed again. Like that's your only option, because someone's gonna go out there and rip like 5 of them, and then everyone's like, see, they could do them. Oh, we should program them. And then there it is. Like that's the task, and that's what you have to achieve and accomplish. And I'm not making the rules. Like, talk to your competitors.
Yeah. Well, and I just kind of going a little bit on a tangent on that. Like, it is really cool that there's 60-year-olds and 70-year-olds that can do a muscle up, but I just worry about these older athletes and like just the injuries that can happen. Like, even just training to try to do those things is hard. And I think that, you know, we could be asking them to do like a career ending injury when they didn't have to do ring muscle ups. Like, they could do chest to bars or they could do whatever. And I just, me personally, I think, I mean, it's cool because you have a 1 person or 2 people that can do it, but I just worry about these older athletes having to do that. And, you know, they come out here and they train really hard, and then you do that and then they don't compete anymore. It's like,
or even just like they're doing the volume needed to get to, as you said earlier, 5 to 10 unbroken ring muscle ups, and they're doing all these drills and ring dip volume and turnovers, etc., and then they end up having excessive elbow tendonitis, or you know, worst case scenario, some overuse injury in the shoulder and like leading to a strain or tear. And it's like, just from trying to do enough to play the game, you know.
Right.
So
yeah, it's tough. Or they just do 1. Like, I don't know why they had to make these people do 6 like everybody
I know.
else.
Well, that was the other thing too. I was like 6 to start. It's like, it reminded me of that like 2014 open workout when they started with the 7 muscle ups. And everyone was like,
yeah.
What did I say? 16? Oh, 14.
Yeah. It wasn't.
But it reminded me of that, because it was just like, that was it. You're just going to start with these 6 muscle ups, and it was cool for the 30 to 40-year-old division. And then after that, it was like everyone's doing like 1s to start. 2s.
I mean, that's, you know, we talk about like program designers, and I know this has been thrown around a lot for people, and I think it'd be a great thing. I think JR Howell does a phenomenal job of writing workouts and tests, and Crash Crucible, Crash Camp now, as he's calling it, and Crescendo, and they changed the name a lot, which is kind of fun. It's all the same thing. Does a phenomenal job of writing quality workouts that test what need to be tested, and he knows the audience of people that he's testing, and just hire him, pay the guy money. There, you will get good workouts that are balanced and appropriate. Like, he was on Shut Up and Scribble, the show they do, and he was just talking about like, why change a movement? Just change the reps, you know. And that might be the most important thing. Like, it was in the context of deficit handstand push-ups, but it's like, just make the girls do 3 and the guys do 5. It's really not that hard. Like, you'll so easily scale calories on a machine, but you won't easily scale
gymnastics movement.
You know, gymnastics movement. And, you know, you shouldn't do that all the time. That's not like, okay, that's the gold standard, now scale those. But he's just saying, in the context of some of the workouts, like, it makes perfect sense to do that. You know, because most of the time they'll scale the deficit. It's like, why don't we just have them all go to 12-inch deficit, and the girls do 2 and the guys do 6? You know, like, why? There's a lot of things you could play with there. And I think for those masters, you could have had two ring muscle ups for the 55 and 1 for the everyone else. And for the 50s, you could have had 3, and it would still play out the same way. And I say that, and Haley's going to get mad because she crushed it with the 6. Oh, no, more muscle ups. It's like, okay, but it's a few of you, right?
Well, she's still in the 45, so it was semi-appropriate.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The 6 was appropriate for the 45, 49. You're right. But yeah. Let's see, Renata. I think for someone going from GPP to 101, the time I spend doing pull-ups and toes to bar, I've already seen progress, which would have never happened in class. And what's crazy too is, like, you think about that concept, and I've been obviously talking to athletes, and some people are quote unquote retiring or offloading for a little while. And my biggest fear with that is, like, something that Renata just said, is there's no blog program out there that you can do that's going to manipulate and shift with you as you train. And I don't think that most people, not everyone, but most people are smart enough to manipulate their training in real time. So you get the Mayhem blog, or you get the Boulder Athlete blog, or whatever, and you're doing that, following along. Most people are not smart enough to understand, like, even though we're having the argument about single modality with deadlifts and sled, it's like, you could have a good time and have fun with that, but I wouldn't put deadlift and sled together. Like, that's just not, like Harley's talking about, do complementary movements, not compounding movements with those. And you get a better training adaptation for that day. That would be a better use of your time, even in the context of GPP. And like, that's the problem, is like, it's not manipulating to you, to your lifestyle, to what you have going on, your specific goals. You just come in and you're going to get fit. And that's the beauty of CrossFit and GPP, general physical preparedness, fitness, and class workouts. And I'm not saying class is bad, but like, and we do the best we can as coaches in class in real time to modify and adapt and make things for you. But like Renata is saying, like, she just has never spent enough time doing toes to bar and pull-ups to get better at toes to bar and pull-ups, because the variation and the inconsistency of a training program in a class.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
You said something, you're like, I would never do sleds and deadlifts because complementary movements will actually give you more fitness or a greater stimulus. It's like, and then you start talking, that's in the context of training, right? In that discussion, do you think that's actually true from a training standpoint? There's no application for that, or is it only in the sense of GPP?
I think if you're going to spend the time, well, the context is this was 3 minutes. So like, you could do anything for 3 minutes and get something out of it. But if you're trying to allocate your time most effectively for you, that may not be the best thing for you. It might be, like someone like Noah.
Are you trying to say that a test is not a training piece? Is that sort of all you're getting at?
A test is not a training piece, and you should train the things that are meant for you. Like, I wasn't going to go down the avenue of like, Noah's a first responder, firefighter. A deadlift and sled push, picking somebody up off the ground and running them down the stairs, which I would say would emulate that, would be an appropriate training piece for him under that context. And me explaining, this is why we're doing this. Then he's going to get the adaptations to perform his task that he's being asked of. For a general person who just wants to look good, feel good, and train, but gets frustrated with, I don't have enough aerobic capacity, or I'm not strong enough, or I'm not this, or I'm not that. You have to peel back the layers a little bit more. I don't think putting in a GPP program that has no thought put into it is just, it's like, okay, you're just moving your body, which then goes down the rabbit hole of like, should that person even own a gym right now? Like, that's.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the line there that makes all of this discussion or my question irrelevant is the program with no thought, right? Yeah. So like, what I was thinking was, when I heard you say that, it may be better in a training setting to do complementary movements, I was trying, when I initially said that, was within the context of a balanced set of tests.
Yeah.
A balanced test for the day. I think that if you gave a class a 3 to 5 minute window.
That's great.
What?
Like, that's not what I was thinking, but that's great. Like, now that you said that adds a lot of value to my thought process.
And so, like, from a training standpoint, if you had that piece, regardless of first responders of specificity to a job, if you had a piece and it was like a lower body day, right? Let's say we spent 25 minutes of the class doing a squatting session, like truly a heavy day CrossFit program. And you're like, I want to just complement those front squats with something a little bit more posterior. And it's like, here's a 3 to 5 minute burner of sled pushes, you go, I go, or deadlift into sled push with a you go, I go with a partner. And it took 3 to 5 minutes. And you're just burning it down. I still think there's value in that. But again, that's a lot of thought.
You added a ton of context.
Ton of context, right?
Yes.
Again,
it's a lower body day. Your primary thing is the squat
dominant.
Yeah.
Like, I hear you. Well, that's why I said your line about not a program without thought. I was like, it's going to make all of this irrelevant. So disregard that last 5 minutes of questioning. It was all a waste of time. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that's I just do that a lot. I think that's a lot of my frustrations. I see all these programs and stuff and I break it down. But like what's even crazier to think about is that these random tests at the games for age groups, we've gotten so much from as coaches and program designers for everyone, not just games athletes. Like we just broke it all down. Like when you really zoom out and think about what we just talked about, and we're using the singular thing because we're bad mouthing deadlifts and sleds, even though let's fucking try it and do deadlifts and sleds.
Oh, it's going to be terrible. It would be super effective, and you could make it a great training piece. You could.
If your goal was like you said, the accessory, or you're like, you know what? I want everybody in the garbage can. It's like, there you go.
Is that going to be Send It on Saturday?
No. We don't. Sleds are hard. Sleds are hard. I want everyone in the garbage can.
Well, don't do sleds. Do deadlift and echo bike.
True. Ooh. That would also be in the garbage can. They did that workout for the regionals in 2018.
Yeah, dude, rip it.
Yeah.
People were on their hands and knees, dude, especially the guys, because it was over-programmed for the guys and under-programmed for the ladies.
10 rounds, 6 cows for men, 4 for ladies, and 3 heavy deadlifts.
I like it.
There you go.
We'll send it.
Put it like a few weeks
Heard it here first.
That's so bad.
Let's see, again, like the context of like, hey, like, let's just rip somebody apart, posterior development. Like there's a lot of thought in that. And then when we do that, just so everybody knows, like, yeah, that send it goes into our Slack, our private Slack channel of the coaches. And then the rest of your program is designed around that to sometimes protect it, because that might be your intensity today. Sometimes not protect it, but at least we're going to push any type of hinging away from that enough so you're coming in not as fatigued. And so there's a lot more thought into that balance and that training. And like, again, all these workouts you see in competitions, you see in qualifiers, you can learn something from them. And it's crazy though how it trickles down. And I think this is why people don't understand but feel it, and they talk about how good it is to be able to do something. I feel so connected because the games athletes, and I do the games workouts, or like it's something you can do in your affiliate, or we're all, it's like, well, actually, you know, another layer to that and an additional piece is like, you feel connected because your training program allows you to build into that fitness level, and maybe not to that degree, but you're getting a window into like what it takes to make those stepping stones to get towards what you're seeing that you perceive as superhuman. Like what Renata said, it's like when she went from GPP to one-on-one, she had exponential growth into, and she can see herself in those superhuman people, which makes them actually less superhuman over time. Like even Heather had a comment about this today, we were talking about it, and she's like, it was so good for a couple of her athletes to come out who are trying to make the games as masters and watch them, because now they realize like these people bleed. Like Superman bleeds. Okay, I can do this. And that is like a really powerful thing. And I think that gets down into the GPP people who engage themselves in the tip of the spear fitness. And that's something that Greg, I think, has talked about forever. And you really need the tip of the spear people, not just because they're cool and great, but because it inspires so many other people to be cool and great. And that's one of the things that I like also took away from this weekend. You know, we had a member here bring her daughter, and she's all fucking fired up and has been doing training and playing soccer, and she's super competitive, and she did the open for the first time, even though she was like yelling at her mom in the deadlift ball walk workout. Heather saw it.
Yeah.
But it's like cool. And it's like she saw those teens, and she now can see herself as that person, which what I think the big thing is, like, you learn hard work, you learn how to be timely, you learn how to communicate better, you learn how to do hard things. And like, especially if you work with a coach, like the communication between an athlete and a coach, you can learn the skill of communicating very easily when you get that interpersonal, especially with something this hard. Like that's what it is. It's the challenge and the hard thing, and learning how to communicate effectively and appropriately and clearly in hard things, which I think transcends all other skills in life. Like, you're going to be better at conflict resolution in your relationships. You're going to be better at articulating yourself, your thoughts and your theories in school, in relationships, and everywhere else. You're going to be a stronger, faster person, so you can do more activities and have and use your body, and you have healthy lifestyles, and you can just bleed into so many things. And all that comes from all these people who try to compete at the highest level in the CrossFit games. It's crazy. And it's affecting a girl in our gym. Like, that is so crazy to me that I wanted to just say it, because I think people need to like step back for a second and be like, damn, it goes way beyond, them trying to. I mean, they have to crown the fittest, and somebody's got to get first, but that's what pushes everything forward, everything and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really cool. It was inspiring, and they're not superhuman. Look at Cody. Look at Cody's trying to be superhuman. I ain't got time to bleed. Superman bleeds, bro.
The comment above that.
Oh. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Marissa
That's
does.
you.
Marissa makes you bleed your own blood.
Dude, I went rogue today on my Marissa's programming.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
You're fired.
Oh no.
You're fired.
No, she knows with the hamstring and stuff. I've been having a hard time, and I've been trying to get back into it. But I mean, was I working hard? Did you see me, Heather, at all?
Yeah, you were working hard.
All right. I felt like I was working.
I mean,
hard.
I don't know what you're supposed to be doing as opposed to
I just
what
meant
you
like
did do,
and
but
when you saw me
yes,
from
you
across
did.
the room.
You did look hard,
All right,
like you were
cool.
working hard. Yes,
Because I was trying to work really hard. Just FYI.
I don't buy it.
He was it looked like he was working.
he was pretty focused. I'll
All
say
right,
that.
good. I got to use the new rogue rower.
It's not about how hard you're working.
Nice.
It's about how hard it looks like you're working.
I'm gonna tell you guys, those rowers, the rogue rowers and the concept twos are the same rower.
Oh God, here we
Yeah.
go.
So the rogue is underselling concept by $100.
Yeah, and they are the same. Like
Okay.
literally, I was trying to row on it and be like, "Is this different? Like, let me feel the difference." Because Heather and I, we get to the track.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Yeah, we got
Nate,
next
first
10
of all,
minutes.
let's
Next
get
10
Nate
minutes,
and
and then we're
Cody in the
done.
comments here
Oh,
to back me
God.
up.
Nope,
All right,
you don't
go.
need any backup.
You want-
I'm
let
on
me
your
tell-
team.
I'll tell
I'm
you.
on your side.
Oh.
Go for it.
No,
Well,
so
I disagree with you, but I'm also on your side.
we
Go
were
ahead.
talking about last week going to the games. We were going to stop at Rogue. They were going to pick up the Rogue rowers. So I was like,
Yeah.
great.
Well, hold on. Context for everybody. I want people to row more in class, and the winter is coming. Winter is coming. And we ran our rowers today or yesterday when I took class. We ran our rowers. And so we need more rowers. And I'm just going to get like over time, I want to get 10 rogue rowers, and then we have 10 concept 2, and it's even, and I love it, and I feel good. So I was hoping that they would have the slightly used rowers because they use them at the games.
Yeah.
And they had one, so I got one. But anyways, we were talking about getting the rower, and go ahead.
Yeah. And I don't even remember like how the initial argument happened, but I basically was like saying how they were different in the context
They're different.
that one is Rogue and one is Concept 2. That's literally my argument.
They're the
They're
same
different.
rower.
He went on like
not about
yelling and arguing. They're the same. They're
I was
the
not
same.
yelling.
They hired this. Yes.
Wait, Cody, Nate.
Yes.
Tell me
They
if I was
hired the
yelling or
same
not.
people that
No, I didn't.
tested
I just said that they
Concept 2, and now they're exactly the same. They're calibrated and blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah.
they are calibrated.
Okay, I did not say that was incorrect. All I said was they were two different machines because they were
They're not different machines.
two different manufacturers.
No,
That was my
I think
sole
maybe-
argument.
Wait, time out. I think that's my hang up is that you said they're two different machines. They are the same machine that gives you the same outcome and are perfectly aligned because
but what are the watts?
Yeah,
same watts.
Charlie.
See, this is the same argument
That was my-
all over again.
And then he went down a rabbit hole. No, they're the same exact thing because then when you get people in class, they're all going to fight over the Rogue ones, and
Oh,
then they're
look,
not going
Nate's
to
got
want
my
to use
back.
this one. And blah, blah, blah.
Nate's got my back. He says Todd didn't understand your context.
Clearly,
Therefore, an argument ensued.
4
There we
times.
go.
Oh my gosh.
What is it? Single modality, CJ says. Yeah, it is single modality. No,
I don't
but
buy it.
the rogue rowers though are sick. They're very slick.
In conclusion,
They're okay.
cool.
So the concept twos are also super cool and slick.
No, dude, throw it out.
Oh, they're different machines. then.
Shiny
That's what
things.
I'm
So it's
saying.
cool.
No, okay.
Nice, nice,
look,
Noah.
I thought because like you see them and that people have been posting about them and everything else, and Rogue has done a good job marketing them. First of all, I like that they're like the matte black and there's not the stupid. I don't like the blue things apparently, but they got some blue on them. And I don't like how like I know
The
going
one
back
has
to the blue.
Dude, are you a blood?
It's like blue.
Are you a blood?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm a
Bro,
blood.
you crip.
Oh,
No,
Are you a
bro.
blood? You cripping, homie?
Bro, you don't like the crip,
Concept
bro?
two. The handle is blue on the
Oh,
concept too.
okay. Or gray. Or gray.
Oh my god.
You would love it if it was red.
I would love it. Red is for blood. All right. Anyways, the color, they're matte
Okay.
black. Everything about it's cool. The monitor itself is nice to look at. I didn't realize that you could
So
make
pretty.
sometimes you start the concept.
shiny.
Anyways, you can also have the meters and the calories and cows per hour on the same screen, which you can do on the Concept 2, but you have to set it. And in
Holy
competition,
crap.
you can't set it because that's illegal. You're not allowed to do that. So the monitor itself is superior in that regard because you get more information out of
So
the
what
road
you're
rower.
saying is they're different.
They're
So they're
different.
different machines.
Well,
Okay, so they're different is what we're
they're
getting at.
the same enough.
I keep hearing differences, guys.
Oh,
I don't know
gosh.
about y'all.
They're the same enough that you're allowed to use.
Oh, the same enough. What's
Am
enough?
I allowed to get off
Do
this
they
call
give
now?
the same
Yeah, see
water?
you later, Harley.
Probably.
Harley's got to go coach and run the gym that he runs.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
run around my neighborhood.
The GM.
At
Yeah.
2.
Hey, your time is limited. I understand.
No,
Congratulations.
I'm just tired of the conversation at this point.
Don't worry. Next time we talk, we'll bring it back up and we can.
Yeah, he brought it up this weekend too, so he's heard a lot.
Anyway,
He just brought up the Watts conversation again.
fold in
He
half.
knows what he's doing.
Right.
He's setting fires and leaving the room.
You can wheel them. They got little handles on the foot plates, and the quick release is
Now
good.
that's cool.
So they're
That's cool.
different. So they're different. Oh,
Heather,
wait, what just happened?
the Concept 2.
I'm Team Heather. I'm Team Heather on this one.
Oh, you're out. So I think Harley's leaving.
Okay. No.
Bye, Harley.
Oh, you're
Thanks,
fine.
Noah.
No, I was just waiting. I was just saying that the
Oh.
conversation is pretty dull at this point.
Heather, you're right.
I think we're just getting
Rowers are
started. I think we're in
There
the
you
moment.
go. Mark that down.
Oh, did Todd just say that she's
I'm
right?
gonna pull that clip.
But
I'll make so many reels out of it.
Hold on,
Do it
the
now.
only but is though, so people at the end of the day, when you're trying to use them, or if like let's say your gym has some Rogue and some Concept 2, there is no difference between them though.
Correct,
For the
correct.
workout and
I will
using
agree.
them and everything else, the features are like it's like I don't want to make these analogies of cars because cars are very different and stuff, and the people are gonna get mad. So let's not even do that. Just in the context of like if you're rowing 12 calories on the Concept 2 and you're rowing 12 calories on the Rogue, it's the same 12 calories.
All right,
Just
well, what about, is it Kubota or is it a John Deere? Like, what's better?
I know, dude. I don't want to get
Look
into
at-
this. Let's,
people
Kubota.
comment.
It's
It's like the last one.
let's see.
It's
If you
Kubota.
use it in a workout, what calories should I do if I'm supposed to do 20 calories on the Concept 2 rower? That's my point. That's the
Nice.
question that's going to get. See, now that Cody
He's
coaches
poking-
Do the
classes,
next
Yeah,
comment.
that's
Do the
nice.
next comment.
They're the same. We get it. They're the same.
listen, we're
No,
going to end.
no, the next comment. Next comment.
Yeah, do the next one.
Okay. And you can create a calorie conversion for the new machine and post it on Wada. Yeah.
Todd, can you create a pacing chart for our Rogue rower,
Oh,
please? I need watts, cal per hour, and meters.
Cody.
see, this is the thing that you guys are all laughing about the thing that I was mad about and trying to correct Heather with because of the same rower.
I wasn't.
that's what's gonna happen.
I
And
get
I'm gonna
it.
be
That's not what
standing-
I was just.
Oh man! For
Talking
those of
about
you
the two
guys who are in our gym and have made it this far, and you know how I am, that's the conversation we're gonna have out here with 14,
no, this is
15,
This is
20 people in
internal.
the
We
room.
will not have that conversation out
No,
there.
they're gonna ask. They're gonna ask what Cody's.
They're the
Cody's
same. They're the
asking.
same.
No. Oh my god!
You know what's in here?
Coffee.
Some gasoline, and I just threw it on the fire.
Yeah. Really crazy. Hey, you better watch yourself, Mr. GM. You're gonna get a bunch of rogue rowers, and everyone's gonna be doing it for you.
No, we're trying to convert from assault bikes to echo bikes right now. We're not even to the rower conversation yet.
There are no conversations.
That was a
Only arguments.
2019.
Yeah, we're behind the curve, guys. Like we're working on fan bike upgrades. Like
Yeah.
we're not worried about rowers right now.
That's a 2028 problem.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Harley. He's
You
in
got
the
to change your plan.
dang. Anyways, they are different. They are different, but they're not different in the context of doing a workout. They're the same.
Correct.
I just don't want people to be like, "Oh, I want to use it."
Well,
And
when they say that, I'm gonna make them use Concept 2.
Well, hopefully we'll have a few more here, so then we won't really have that problem. I just got to figure out where to put them.
Fold them up, put it in the storage closet.
That's a good idea because the wheels are so nice to like just roll around.
Oh, I was just making shit up.
You could also, dude, it feels like I've banged
In
it
the
around
hole.
on accident because like when it does fold, it kind of hits into itself. That's probably a problem. They need like a bumper like at the bottom. But I was like, oh, you could drop this thing off like a building. and
How
it would-
long until Rogue
That's
creates a stackable storage rack? You can hang them from the ceiling or something.
You already can. They have the Rogue hangers.
There you go. They fit on those.
hmm
There you go. Sick.
They got it figured
They
out.
hang them like those benches on the wall. Just like-
Yeah, actually, on the foot plates where you put your feet in where you row, there's holes cut out, and that's where you like wheel it with your two hands,
Mhm.
and like you can hang it on the
And
wall.
that fits into the wall hook.
Yeah, through the
Yeah.
wall hooks and just like snugly
That's
fits
cool.
there.
That's cool.
I hate to say it, but Rogue is superior, guys. They think of everything.
They
They do.
Facts.
They're darn good at what they do.
Their engineering team is the bomb.
Would you say they're different than the Concept 2 wheels? Dude, yes. I already.
Yes, those are different. Yeah. Wheels are different. Machines are the same.
There you go. I like that.
The ergonomics. Are the same. No.
Yeah,
ergonomics
actually,
are different.
no. I was trying. No, the ergonomics. It feels. I was literally because I before when I started and I warmed up on it, I was like in my brain. I was like, okay, don't be biased and try to see if this feels different because I wanted it to feel the same. But I was like, I'm gonna see if this feels different and like hopefully give Heather some props. It doesn't feel different. It feels the same. The only thing that feels different is when we flick out of the thing from the quick release.
The quicker ways.
Quick release.
The quickies.
On the straps. That's what feels different. Like that sensation of like
What happens with
the quicker ways?
With the quick release? If you release them and you put your feet back in, how does it? Is it quick tightening as well?
Yeah, it's quick release and quick tightening.
Dude, why is it only called quick release? I'm concerned.
I don't know, dude. Email Rogue. So you flip them up, you put your feet in, and you flip them down, and you tighten them down to what you want. And then from there, you flip them up, and you pull them out, flip them in. It's back at the same tightness.
That's crazy, dude. Can you explain that again? That was a good story. Do you have time?
Nope. Let's go. All right.
Harley is spicy today.
Okay, you're right. They're different.
Today.
They're different.
I'm having a good time. This is
Scoreboard.
This weekend, I told Marissa when we got home, I was eating food when we got home from the drive on Monday, and I was telling her how much fun I had with Harley, and I was like dying laughing on the couch, and I was like, I feel like aside from the crude comments and like the dumb stuff, Harley and I's relationship is like Bryson and Taylor.
I mean, except for we know how to present ourselves a little bit more tactfully.
That's what I mean. But like, I was just like, some of the stuff we talked about was cracking me up, dude. It was hilarious.
I'm glad someone had fun.
I was like, why is he fucking telling me these pictures are blue? I was like, we got to move to Colorado. I just want to hang out with Harley all day. She was like, you should text him, ask him if he's hiring.
Yeah, you can get a job, dude.
You gonna give me an interview?
Fuck yeah. You could probably show up without an interview. I'd be like, dude, he's hired. No one ask questions.
I would die.
No one ask him anything, or you'll be there for an hour and a half. Hour and 32 minutes and 12, 13, 14.
You get more than an interview, I promise.
It adds value. Like that lady at the bridge.
Yeah.
She was wrong. Okay.
He was wrong. She was wrong.
She was wrong. She was
so wrong.
All right.
Yeah.
Some say the most wrong.
Let's see what Harley says. He's got to go. Then he continues to stir the pot. Yeah, no, that was the joke he had. You got to run. Let's let Harley go and run. That was a good call. I'm glad we talked about the Masters games from our perspective. There's so many shows that'll give you guys all the tea and explain the workouts and everything else. You should watch those. Give them some loves. Hit the comments, like, subscribe, all of those things, because it helps them grow the channel. And we are a small ecosystem in the CrossFit space. And people think it's big time. It's not. So help everybody out. Even Tristan said I'm going to have to set a timer when we have Todd on our podcast. Just don't ask controversial questions and I'll be all right.
It's going to be a good podcast.
The road rower and the Concept 2 rower, the same rower.
Is controversial.
It's not the same rower. All right. Next week, we talk about the coaches conference. That one shouldn't be as spicy. It should be pretty good.
Yeah.
Sweet.